Reporting. Okay, yay. We're live. Don't anybody mess up. So somebody else joining us. So what we're going to do is basically, I'm going to go through all the brushes with you with the prices and ask questions. And I'm just basically, if you notice my red face, I don't have any makeup on. I'm clean and clear of all makeup. And there's Teresa. So I'm just going to put my makeup on with the brushes so you can see how I use it and the different ways you can use it and how much they are and all that fun stuff. So the first thing I want to show is obviously the eye makeup, the eye brushes set, the complete collection set. So this comes with 5 brushes, 5 out of the 6, 7, 8, or 9, or 10 brushes. And there's plenty of room to add those to it. So you have your all over eyeshadow brush. We have a crease brush. This is a blender brush. Then we have the all over powder, and then the cheek brush. Okay. And this retails for $56. Very gorgeous little bag. So basically what I'm going to do, instead of trying to go pick all the brushes randomly, I'm just, like I said, going to use them as I use them as I get ready in the day. And I've got a couple little notes on some of these I thought were interesting as far as the brush and the bristles. So basically, this is the cream brush. So it's a little stiffer, but it is, I'm going to read this to you. Okay, so it's a rounded, densely packed bristles designed to mimic the fingertip. And the application, it's a good application so product doesn't streak. So I actually use this in the mornings when I'm getting ready to put my foundation on. Before I use the Indulge Eye Gel, and I will put a little bit of that on the brush and just tap around the eyes for what I want that for. And the whole purpose between the brushes is keep the product off your hands and your fingers, because your hands, your fingers produce oil, you know, they're touching things and you're touching your face. So the brushes are super important, and keep these clean too. So we have our brush cleaner. You spray this on and wipe it with a washcloth. And I'll be totally honest with you, this is a great cleaner. This retails, how many people know how much this retails for?
I think it was
14.
13, I think.
22.
10. It's great for powder. If you're trying to clean your brush with powder, it's really good. If you're trying to use it to clean the liquid foundation, it'll work, but you're going to use a lot of it. So I prefer to clean my makeup with the foundation brushes with shampoo, or the 3-in-1 bar. The 3-in-1 facial bar is amazing because you can just hold that bar and you can just like rub it in there. And the warmer the water, the better. Okay. So this is meant for cream. So what I do is I have, if I can read it, under eye corrector. So I have melasma. So the under eye corrector is pink and it covers brown. So it will cover brown under here, and you'll notice I have a brown spot here. And then in the summertime, this is huge, very dark brown, and it goes way down into my neck. So I use the under eye corrector on these areas. So there's a couple different ways you can do this. You can dot it with the applicator, or you can take your applicator and then dot it where you want it. So this will cover dark spot, dark circles and any kind of dark blemishes. So this one is tough for me over here because it's also in the crease, the hollows of my face. So I'm not only am I trying to highlight it, but it shows up because there's shadow. So it's very frustrating for me to try to get rid of that. So it's just a matter of don't be doing this and wiping your face, pat, 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 all around where you've got the darker spots. So I'll try to lighten this up and this up. This is just a scar, so it's a shadow, okay? So the key with, I don't know if you know this or not, but the key with concealers and the under eye corrector is this stuff is waterproof, right? When this dries, it sets. It's not going anywhere. So you have to give this a second to set. And then for the concealer, I will use this to do the red cheeks. And I have the little veins in my nostril, you know, those little red veins. That drives me nuts. So I will use this to, I mean, you can use your hand, your finger, but I mean, I don't know. I kind of feel like I'm pampering myself too with the brush. So the brush is nice because you can kind of just really get around the schnoz really well. And you can see how it will take the pink and the red out, right?
Mhm.
Any questions? So I pretty much cover and conceal my whole face before I start my foundation, but it's necessary for
Me
me,
too.
right? Then I also have this little area up here by my widow. I used to have a widow's peak here and the hair is falling out. So if I don't fill that in and it's not the same color as my skin. It's really weird.
Denise, could you use that to cover a birthmark?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Any kind of imperfection that's there. So, you know, you want to give this a second for it to feel tacky. You don't still want it to feel runny, right? So that's the cream. We're going to come back to this one. This is very versatile. So the next thing for me is to put the foundation on, which we have the two brushes. This one on the right has lush dense bristles, angled flat top. Okay. The brushes are all synthetic, so they will work with powder and liquid. So there's the angle one here, and then you have Teresa's favorite, the blending brush.
yes,
This is light coverage. This is a full coverage. Okay. And it's interesting. So people that are watching this may look like a sponge to you, but if I hold this up on an angle, can you see the bristles? There's got to be a bazillion bristles in this thing. And is it soft? It's really nice. So I will have both of these and I will work with this one till it gets really full and needs to be cleaned. And then I put that in the shower and wash it. And then I'll pull this one out and use this one. So I'll just kind of rotate them. So I'm always using a really clean brush. Okay, so this is to apply your foundation. Just kind of dot, dot. And then just dot, 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 dot. And then gently brush foundation. Do you all use this and love this brush?
Mhm.
Mhm.
No, I use the heart-shaped one,
Okay,
and I love that.
okay. The heart shape, for the people who don't know, that was a limited edition brush that's similar to this one, but it was heart shape. And I think the bristles were a lot softer than these. So you can see how well that covers the concealer and all that. Oh. In the summertime, I'll tend to take it down to the, Oh, and this is the other thing for the concealer. Because we don't have our eye primer anymore. Little concealer on the lids. And this will, and then I think Diane, you use the regular primer, don't you, for the face?
Yeah.
This will really keep your shadow on. I was shocked when I read that, when the company came out with that. So concealer on the lid. So how does that look? Do I need any
Good.
more?
I can't use the concealer now because I bought the wrong color and I use it under my eye, but it's too orange on top of my eye.
And that can be a hit or miss thing, you know. You have to just try and see what's going to be the best thing that would hide where it's not bleeding through and you're getting it too hot, too orangey, too brown, too light. Okay. My favorite part of the day. Translucent powder. This, as Bridget would say, the bomb.com. So it has little, how do I show that where it's not? I don't know if I can show that where it's, yeah, there it is. So it's kind of like a powder, like a bath powder, where you can unlock it and then you hold it upside down, tap it, then lift it back up. And this is really all you need. Take your all over powder, swirl it in there, kind of shove that powder in there. Some people will, I've seen people really rub it in. I don't do that. I kind of like to just pat it. Oh, this, I'll tell you, if you're doing a makeover, ladies that try this and they've got their foundation on and you do this powder, it leaves such a porcelain shine, not a shine, but it's just such a finished look. You can really tell a difference. And this will also help with oily skin. The powder will help absorb the oil. Okay. Kind of foundation, all that stuff. Next, my favorite brush. Eyebrow eyeliner brush. This retails for 10. It's got this is called a wired spoolie and an angle brush. I'll go through at least one of these a year. I love them. So a couple things you can do with this. First thing I do is I take the brush and I brush my brows. You know, all that dead skin, any foundation that's left on your brows, right?
Mhm.
If you have facial hair, take this just lightly and lift the facial hair. When you put liquid on hair, it tends to lay it down. So if you just take this and kind of gently brush that facial hair, that's a little tip for you. Learned it years ago. So I'm going to show you this with brushes because you really don't need a pencil if you don't want to. So this is my compact that I use every day in the morning. I wanted this and you know what? I'm going to do my blush first. So I also have another one of these that has all the blushes and a couple contourings. So the cheek brush is kind of angled and it's got a little dimple right here. So you can like put your thumb there, right? And then a little tip, instead of taking your brush and doing one of these, because then you rub a hole in the middle and then it weakens it and then it'll break. So instead of doing that, just kind of tap, just do a tap. And then I kind of flick it a little bit. And then I start here and I go this way. Little small sweepy strokes towards, you must have to stop 2 finger widths away from your nose. I'm going to do this a little darker because it'll show up better. And you can go back and forth once you get that area, right? So with this,
Excuse me.
simply go just, now I will take this all over brush. So dark pulls in, light pulls out. That's the illusion. So I take latte and I do a little bit of latte under here to get rid of my double chins. So if you put a little bit here and a little bit here, it's just light enough that it's going to create a little bit of a shadow to thin this area. You can also do this if you want, but you got to be careful. You don't want to do too much because then you'll have this brown streak. Highlighting contouring tip. My other favorite thing that I do during the day is when I get ready is my eyebrows. I pretty much have, once in a while I'll do brow pencil, but I'm pretty much gotten away from it. This is a little bit quicker. So I use eyeshadow, and for me I use espresso. And for the lighter, I know Teresa uses, and Mary I think uses Cashmere Haze is a great color for silverish gray and blonde. Just depends if you have a little bit of that. If you look at Mary's hair, right in the scalp area, it looks darker, you know, and then it gets lighter. And that Cashmere Haze is a perfect shade for that without putting dark on. And then hazelnut is another really great color. So what I do is I take this angle brush and I tap it on to the shadow, and eyebrows should start here. They should stop here, and they should arch here. So I just take this point, and so you are my mirror, and I just gently fill it in. That's simple. And I can make this as thick or as thin. And my brows tend to stop shorter than they should, so I can bring them down. Right? And then this side. Brows are sisters, not twins. Right? So they don't have to look identical. Just start them. You don't want to start them too far in. I mean, too far out. There's see a lot of people on air, personalities. They got those eyebrows way in here. Drives me crazy. You know why? Because all I look at is here. Because it draws my face into their bridge of their nose. And it just don't do that, please. So it's just real simple, just real. Then if I want to set this, I will use the brow tint to go over it. It just kind of sets it. Voila! I have my brows. I will not leave my home without brows. Even if I'm gardening, I'll do pencil on the brows if I'm doing that. So this is the other thing. I go back to the all over and kind of do this because you might get a little fallout from that darker color and it might set, you know, on your face. Always grab this. So that's brows. Any questions? Liner. You don't need pencil either. You can use this amazing brush.
What color would you use if they're blonde? The Cashmere Haze?
For liner or for brows?
For brows. For brows. Sorry, I was muted. I didn't get it turned
For
on.
you, I would try Cashmere Haze
Cashmere
or
Haze.
hazelnut. I wouldn't go any darker in hazelnut.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
I'm just curious. Okay.
So for
Yeah.
eyeliner, there's a couple different ways you can do it. Now, I don't know if anybody's ever used this liquid eye pen. It's very harsh. I mean, it's a very dark color and very harsh. But if you want dark but not and have more control, again, right here, if you take that, touch it, and come under here, this is it's dried a little bit, but this is a option. Another option is our liquid eyeshadow. You want to use this for a liner. Now this is waterproof, so this will set. So what I do with this is take it on the angle, pull some product, tuck it underneath the lash, and you just walk it through. I don't do a line. Once it's on, I can draw the line. If you try to, this will get you away from doing this. People pull because they want to draw the line. Stop that. The reason they draw that line is because if you try to draw a line just with your shadow, your eyes relax, what's the pencil going to do? Skips. It skips and you can't grab. That's why people do this. They pull that tension on the eyelid and really draw that line. Stop drawing the line. Do little hash marks, even with your liner. So if you don't want to use the liquid eyeliner, you can then again use your shadows. So I can do black. I kind of like navy. So I'll tap my brush with the navy and I always go to the corner, little marks, and then go back this way, that way. And then on the top, the same way. You can go from this corner. So you are my mirror. So this is really talent right here. I just want you to know. So you don't need liner. You don't need a
You're
pencil.
doing a good job.
Huh?
You're doing a good job.
Yeah, it's awesome. I wouldn't do that well.
You know, it's practice, right? And it's just a matter of tucking the color above the lashes. Then once you get it on, if you want to draw that and thicken the line, you can, right? So, and it's nice because you can do the dark green, you can do the purple, you can do all of that. So these brushes are so versatile to do all of this with them. And so now what I'm going to do is the all over brush. Okay. So I'll do a couple different things. I'll do, one thing I've been doing a lot lately is a lot of shimmer over the whole eye. I've been really, really putting this on. I'm going to do one eye one way and one eye the other way. So the other eye I'm doing a matte. What I've just put on here was hold on a minute, Moonstone. So this is Moonstone. This is Blossom. So I want you to see the Blossom is a matte pink. I love this color. Wonderful. So you see the difference between the shimmer and that. So then what I'll do for the shimmer, I really have liked doing, trying to think what color here I gotta put on. No, I want to go to the matte because I know the matte's one of my Cashmere Haze. And I'm not rubbing, I'm just patting. A lot of your makeup artists will do just that. They will just pat it like that, right? And then you can take that crease brush, and I keep my eyes open and bring it up just a little bit here and around. And then if you want, you can bring it under here a little bit. But I will literally have my eyes open. There's a lot of real estate here, so use it, right? So when my eyes are open, we see a little bit here, a little bit in the lid or the brow bone area. So
Do you
with
want to
this,
put your shadow on after your liner?
I do. A lot of people don't, and then there's no right or wrong. A lot of people will put their shadow on and then the liner. So it's something I've always done it that way. So I've never really veered from it. It seems to work for me. But you'll find a large percentage of women will, do shadow first.
Mhm.
Then I'm gonna play a little bit, and with this one, and I'm gonna do a sunlit rose. I just like the shiny purpliness of it. And then sometimes I'll go over it with frozen iris. I like to layer. I do. I just like to keep layering it. And then the crease brush or the angled crease brush. I might take like a Merlot just to get the darkerness of it here. Is where I'm at. And the fun thing is, don't panic. These are mineral powders, so they're fairly intense. But once you get it, if you get it on too much, you've got the smudger brush that can just be smudgy. So you can smooth it out, right? So don't worry about getting it all too much. So I have gray, pink, gray, pink. Camera 1, camera 2, camera 1, camera 2. So the mascara, obviously, mascara. Put mascara on, and I didn't bring it. So this is my mascara. Little tip. A lot of people tend to automatically tip their head up and they do the top first, right? So they got all of this product loaded up here and here. And then what do? You do your bottom, right? So then what do? You go like this to do the bottom, and you've just put smudgies all along the top. So do the bottom first, because your head's tipped. Do your mascara, and then you look straight up to do the top. This is great to get any kind of blunks and clumps. You really should, when you've got your mascara tube, when you pull that out, you really should kind of brush it off to there's not any clumps and keep it smooth. But if I get some major clumps, I'll just take this brush again and just kind of separate everything. Okay. So for lips, you can use a brush. You don't have to put the lipstick in it. If you want, you can take, this is red smolder and the liner brush. You can just print it out, put it on there, and you can line your lips with the red. Just line them, and then you can take the liquid brush. It's easy to do with the hydrating lipsticks. They're very soft. This is the way our mothers and grandmothers put lipstick on, right? With brushes. Oh,
I never saw my mom use a brush.
yeah. Yeah, back in the day.
it's neat.
I had somebody ask me for one, just about, was right before Christmas, if we carried a lipstick brush.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, now if you use the one liner I didn't bring with me to show is the Jet Black. It's a gel, kind of a creamy gel that has a retractable brush. But and you could use that for lips as well. But I think yeah, not really. Unless we come out with them that have that with them, which we have over in the past. We've had them in the past. So recap, synthetic, all over brush. This one is how much is this one?
16.
16, right? The two foundation brushes are 14, 16. Oh, and I'd be remiss if I didn't show you the amazing mask brush. Like a little, it's like a spatula. So when you're using our amazing masks, this is what you want to put this on with. And this one is 12. And then my favorite, 10. The blush brush,
14.
14, thank you. Oh, and you know what I don't have, that I thought I put in here, my bad, is we have an eye blender, which is probably the length of the cream. It's fairly long, but it's very wavy. So it's really nice to use it to blend. So that's a really nice brush as well. And then these are all 12. Your smudger, your crease, and your all over are 12 each, which I think are greatly priced. I don't think we outprice ourselves in that market for what we have in brushes. I think I love our brushes. So, and then when you want to, if you're done, you can use our finishing spray. Shake this up. And this is cold, and people always jump when they do it. So what I recommend is you close your eye. You've got to close your eyes, obviously, and take your lips like that, so you don't taste it, right? And you go 1,
Oh,
And-
I used it, and it made my mascara and eyeshadow and everything run.
yeah.
People said it looked horrible, so I didn't.
Yeah.
don't
So
use
some
it.
people, I mean, if I show this, I will sell it. People love it. So, there's always a
Nobody ever showed me how
small
to use it.
yeah, small percentage. Well, you could put it on before your mascara. So if you're finding that, because you're setting you don't need to set mascara. Mascara is going to set. So if you're finding it's affecting the mascara, do the spray, finishing spray, and then put your mascara on. Right.
Okay.
So that was it. What do you think? So it covers, the concealer covers fairly well, I think. And the key is don't be in a hurry with concealers and these brushes. Really take your time. And then really when you're done using these, you know what I mean, just at least get a wipe here. And the very last thing too, I will take this again and make sure I don't have any the shimmer shadows and some of our other products that have come out for seasonal will tend to do a lot of fallout because they're glittery and you'll see it all, so just I'm not hardly touching. You just want to just get it to where you're fluffing it away, because if you press, you're going to get the color on your face, right? So
You look gorgeous, darling.
look gorgeous. Thank you very much.
Gorgeous.
Thank you.
I
So-
hope Dale's planning on taking you out somewhere.
Yeah, probably not. Too late. We don't call them pajamas anymore. We call it loungewear.
Mm.
So we put our loungewear on.
I call it comfies.
Yeah. So I'm going to see how I can stop recording right here. So this will be available on a YouTube. I'll compile this into a YouTube link and then I'll send it to you. And if you want to obviously show this to your clients, that's great. And if you choose to offer them, any specials that, customers, ask your consultant if she's got anything going on. But I mean, for $16, $12, $14, it's a good investment, and I wouldn't use anything other than that. Also, what I do as well, if I'm doing a double or single facials appointments for new clients, they'll use the brushes. I don't use the sponge tip sampley things. I'll let if I have a party, then, if I have 4 or 5 people, I'm not going to do that. The other thing real quick I did not show was, and I'm just going to hold this up. So the compacts that we also have these smaller travel powder for pressed powder. And then this is for cheek, and these are for eyes, and you can also use the sponges. But these will fit in these little compacts. So you can get them a little travel to go, right? They're only $2.50 and $2 and $4.50. So they're very affordable. So I'm going to end the recording. Thank you very much.